don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Let me see. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Political Spotlight, episode 386. The title is Muncie Board of Works Meeting Review and Dustin Clark Invoices, or I know. I'm actually getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it myself. I'm like, damn, I really need some new pictures of these people because I just keep using the same pictures. You know what I'm going to do? Over the next couple months, I'm just going to go around in public where they are, and I'm just going to start snapping pictures of them. So I have a whole new set of pictures to take of them because I've been using these same pictures now for about 3 years. And I just use them in different ways. But that's funny that you mentioned that. Because literally tonight, I just thought, I'm sick of these same pictures. And you know what I think I might do? I might actually, when this show gets over, I might delete all of them except like one each out of my thing that I use to kind of ensure that I have to go get other pictures of them because I'm kind of getting sick of them myself. So, hey, welcome. Tonight's episode is called Muncie Board of Works Meeting Review and Dustin Clark Invoices. Or, moreover, let's try it again. Last night, as you know, we were doing the episode on House Bill 1186. Then we were going to review the Muncie Board of Works and talk about Dustin. However, as we were told, we were going to get some kind of really bad ice storm. And then I was telling everybody all day long, don't worry about that. We're not getting any kind of big bad ice storm. It's not going to be a big bad ice storm. Okay. It's going to be just a normal, hey, look, everybody, Audie's here. Audie, if you were on YouTube, people would see you. You need to be on YouTube. But we didn't have an ice storm. We had a thunderstorm. That thunderstorm knocked us out of power. And then we got back on, but we had some gremlins. So I just said, screw it. We'll do it tomorrow. So that's where we are. Hey, while we're here, and I do want to say, I'm not going to say much because I didn't get the okay or the approval to, but specifically since Audie's here, I do want to ask all of you out there that, believe in the power of prayer to maybe throw some prayers up for Audie and his family. I won't say much more than that because I don't have the okay to do that, but there's just kind of an pretty serious unspoken prayer request for Audie and his family. So for those of you that do that, you might consider consider throwing up an unspoken prayer request for the Barber family. And I'm glad to see Audie back on here for a minute. My grandpa just said the other day, he's like, I miss Audie being on the show sometimes. I said, who? So, all right. Well, I guess I owe you all a show on the Muncie City or Muncie Board of Works and Dustin Clark. Same shit, different day kind of thing. It is what it is. While we're tuning into that, you know what? I think Audie jumped off right as I said that thing about him being on Facebook, so he probably didn't even hear all that other stuff. I always do that. If you guys could throw us up a like, give us a thumb, give us a thumb. He did. See, he is here on YouTube. Give us a hit the thumb. Give us a like. Ring the bell if you haven't. Subscribe and do all of those things, and we can go. No, I just said, Audie. I told them I didn't know that you were checking out of there. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were taking that off. I was just telling them that I didn't have the okay to say more than what I am, but for those that are believers, they might offer an unspoken prayer request for your family because you guys are dealing with something right now. I did not go further into detail because I don't know what you guys are doing with that, but so several of them said that they would be thinking about your family and offering prayers. So I did say that. Oh, I just okay. I mean, I just didn't know if what you basically. Long story short, Audie's daughter had gave birth to a baby, which is a really cool thing. But the baby's got some issues. They just have some issues. The baby. I didn't even find out from you if it was a baby girl or baby boy. I don't know what. Tell me. I don't know what baby it is. It's a boy or a girl. And the baby was born with some issues, and they have to do some surgeries here pretty soon to take care. Baby girl, her name is Malaya. Is it Malaya? Malaya? Am I saying that right? Say okay if I'm saying that right, or say yes, Malaya. Seems like that would be Malaya. Anyways, the baby is in definitely need of some prayers. I talked to Audie last night, and it's actually better than it could be. It's not as good as it should be. So they gotta do some surgery and fix some things in there. So it's important to keep, obviously, Audie and his wife in your thought and prayers, and then of course his daughter and her husband and the little baby and the doctors and nurses and all those people. So never a good thing, but you know, with where we are in the world, they should be able to repair everything nicely and everything should go smoothly. So thoughts and prayers with them. Muncie City Council meeting occurred last Monday. We covered that. Muncie City Board of Works happened on Wednesday. Space Cat asked about looking into the sanitary district. I am questioning what's going on there. They have not. It's kind of harder to get information from them, but I am looking into what's going on there. I will post you what I get when I hear what goes on there. But from the let's see here. Hold on a second. Let me take a look at this. I don't know what this is that you sent me. So, let's find out what Joe Black's saying here. New hair salon opened up for business right across the street from the old established hair cutter's place. They put up a big bold sign which read, "We give $7 haircuts." Not to be outdone, the old master barber put up his own sign. We fix we fix $7 haircuts. That's good. Audie says Courtney talked to him this week. You know who he is on Live Patrol. Okay, all right. I wondered if that's what that is. That's pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. So Board of Works this week. Board of Works meeting occurred on Wednesday the 5th. Today's the 6th. And something happened at the Board of Works. It's only an 8-minute meeting. So yeah, while we're getting ready for this, Kate put it up. If you guys want to offer your thoughts on how much money we spend and what kind of short window they take, is there any questions? How long of time does it take to get? I don't know the answer yet. I have not actually listened. I've listened to this, but I didn't listen closely enough to get the total of money. So it's going to be a guesstimate for me too. So we're going to go ahead and watch this meeting, get this up here and listen to what's going on here. And then this will kind of take us into the Dustin stuff. So, okay, here we go. Without further ado, here is the Board of Works meeting from Wednesday the 5th.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the February 5th meeting of the Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety. Please rise if you can for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome. Roll call, please. Present.
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 We have been presented the minutes for the January 29th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve these minutes?
Yeah, I move approval of the January 29th minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay,
I have a typo correction.
Okay.
In
I think I saw that too.
paragraph 5, should be line instead of like.
Okay. Let's fix that.
Okay, we have a motion and edited
and a second. Any comments or questions anymore? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Consideration of the Register of Claims by Mr. Craig Wright.
Good morning.
Hi, Craig. Good morning.
Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon. We did have our usual utilities, but we also had health care
Mr.
for
Usual.
health insurance on this week, along with credit card. And we had a rather large claim for $717,537.48 on page 28. And that was to GM Development for the new fire
GM
station
Development.
for construction and design. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Okay, Linda.
I didn't have any, thank you.
And we'll-
None, thank you.
Okay, I do not either. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move approval of the claims for $2,774,796.
Second.
Okay, do we have any comments or questions? Any public comment?
$2 million.
Okay. Having none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
We
So let's say this together. It's 2,774,796 and 0 cents. Audie says call it 3 million. Okay. Let me write this down here. Okay. So, I guess what I want to say is here $2.7 million. $2.7 million here. No questions. No questions, period. Just no questions. Now, I thought about sending an email to these 3 Board of Works members, but I'm not 110% sure they properly know how to read, because I would think that if they were reading these things and they had a complete understanding of how to read, they would have questions. But I'm not 100% sure. So I think I'm going to have to end up going to one of these, because there's something in the claims that it in and of itself doesn't look too crazy if you're just a regular person. If you don't have an understanding of what goes on day by day at City Hall. But I would think that Linda would have caught this, or would call this out, and hasn't said anything about it. So keep this claims in the back of your mind, 2.7 million. Okay. Remember that. And let's go ahead and go through the rest of these. Okay. And let's go through these, and then we're going to come back to Dustin here in a minute. I have a question. Who told him about the typo in the minutes? Yeah, right. I wonder if it was Lacey who actually was like, oops, I accidentally made a typo. Can you remind me? And, do that. Yeah, that's true too, Alva. We need a Democrat that acts a lot like Donald Trump to clean house. You need to tell Dan that you want to be on the Board of Works, Audie. All right, here. Let's listen to what happens here, and we'll bring this back here in a minute. I'll let you know what they slipped up on.
You have 2 orders of new business. First, a residential handicap parking spot renewal for 1924 West 10th Street. We've been given the documents. We can proceed.
As a renewal, I will move approval of the application for the parking space.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, good. And
I do
all-
have a question.
all paperwork seem to be submitted, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're talking about a 6 or 7 month in advance of when it expires. I guess there's nothing that prohibits us doing that, but I'm not sure why we are.
Yeah, is it for August, right? Oh, yeah,
I mean,
the current one is through
Does
August
the
30th.
renewal period start then today? So she's losing X number of months, or does it renew in August? I guess that's my question.
That would be a good question. We will find that out. We'll ask.
I mean, I guess I don't have a problem either way, but, and I guess I would rather have work done rather than not at all, but, or rushed at the end, but it does kind of throw a wrinkle in it.
So I'll talk to Adam. I think he would be the one. So, okay. So, we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Thank you. And then.
So I guess now it doesn't matter
second
what the
one
answer to the
is
question is. They
Office
voted
of
on it.
Community Development to amend a Muncie mission regarding COVID relief funds. Good morning.
Good morning. Nikita Adams, Office of Community Development. This is just to extend our contract with the Muncie Mission. They have been administering an assortment of different relief efforts for COVID, and we have a little bit of funding left, so we wanted to extend the contract to help cover a vaccine clinic that they had recently. We will be helping purchase outreach supplies they did to encourage people to come into the clinic.
A what?
Okay.
I move approval of the agreement with Muncie Mission.
Quick, hold on. I gotta mute this so they don't get us. They don't get us banned on YouTube.
I do have one.
Okay, go ahead.
In the whereases, it says it was awarded in 2020 through 2023. Did we have another one in there for the?
No, it
Since then?
had fallen through.
Okay.
And then
All right.
they had this come up, and we just decided to extend it to help cover that.
All right.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Nay.
Okay, that's all current business and such. Do we have any other comments? I figured. Good morning, Mr. Rick Yenser. Welcome.
Oh, that's my name. Rick Yenser, Muncie, newsman and author. We were running around yesterday and we found that some traffic lights were out up and down the river there from the High Street Bridge down to Centennial. We later found power outage was out, but the utility didn't give a reason for it. And it's a matter of public safety that the government that didn't seem to know what was going on needs to be aware of, because we've had other scattered power outages in this community over time. And speaking of the utility company, they made a fine mess over there on Tillotson when work starts this spring, either to patch streets or to fix streets. They made a horrible mess of Tillotson between the hospital and the university. And I think that should be put at the top of the list, because there are thousands of cars and thousands of people that work over there. And those roads need to be upgraded as soon as possible, besides the routine stuff, as you know, potholes all over town. And I don't think from the people that we do and tell stories on social media, they haven't seen a lot of work on that either. So just a reminder. Besides, Susie wanted me to mention that we're celebrating 150th anniversary of the Muncie Public Library. And on Friday, down at Kennedy, they're going to have a little gathering in the afternoon. So people need to remember the importance of knowledge and education, because the Muncie Library's been around a good long time.
Yep.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Rick. Just as a note on the side, I don't think they're done with the Tillotson project yet.
No.
They just for the winter. So we've got more happening in the spring and summer. So.
They're done over there by Kenmore. As you remember, they ripped up Ashland a few years ago. They rebuilt that station. I'm talking about just between Riverside and University, which is,
okay, I got you. Yeah.
I don't know whether the street is sunk, but it's a very rough ride. You've got a fire station over there too. So anything you can do here quickly to fix that would be much appreciated.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in and voicing your concerns. Really do. Okay. Do we have any other comments or questions?
Well, like he feels like he
Having
must
none, all
talk.
those,
Just shut
motion adjourned.
up.
Meeting adjourned. Motion to adjourn, meeting adjourned. We don't have to do that. Let's try to move.
Oh, God. I don't even know what else to say. Okay. Before we get into the thing, Dan's Holes takes you to the actual site, so you keep that in mind. Before we switch over, the mayor also did a before I get into what's going on here today, the point of all of this, the mayor of Muncie also did a community update that he does, and so let's just go listen to see if there's anything that we need to know about what's happening in the city. If there's anything amazing, if we get any major hard-hitting facts. Hell, his announcements also nearly, it's 8 minutes and 14 seconds, so
information.
That's pretty impressive. All right, let's go listen here and see if he's got anything he's going to say to us.
Hello, Muncie. This is Dan Ridenauer, your mayor. Today is Thursday. It is February 6th, and I hope you're having a great day. A little bit of information I just want to share. Because of the weather, it's gotten a little cold again. I guess it is February, but it's gotten a little cold. So first Thursday, which is tonight, will be, they're going to be doing it inside at Cornerstone Center for the Arts. So I just want to let everybody know, first Thursday, the Muncie Makers Market will be inside at Cornerstone. Part of that is due to the weather, but we hope that you'll be able to come on downtown and enjoy some of the arts and crafts and the restaurants that we have in our wonderful city. One other thing, I just want to make people aware, you can put this on your calendar if you are available, but on March 6th, starting at, the doors will open at 7 a.m. at Horizon Convention Center will be the state of the city. So I'll kind of go over what we saw back in 2024 and some of the things that are coming forward. So it's a free event. It will include breakfast. They'll start serving breakfast at 7:30, but you have to register in advance. Just want to let people know in case they want to participate. It's exactly 1 month from today, March 6th. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about annexation. The city council approved what was the third voluntary annexation. And there's two different types of annexations. There's voluntary, which is where 100% of the property owners have said, we want to be part of the city. And we had that with the commercial development that's going to be going on at Bethel and Morrison. They wanted to be part of the city, mostly for police and fire protection. And then Heron, Westminster was another area that asked for voluntary annexation, and that was approved by the council. And then also the 12 acres that Ball State gave to us for a subdivision was approved by the council. Both of those last two were approved with 9-0 votes. Actually, the first one was an 8-0 vote, but one council member was not there. But so those are some voluntary ones. We have a couple others that are not necessarily voluntary, but there are reasons, and there are reasons that we're moving some things forward with that. And those will be up for the council here in March. So I just kind of want to go into some of the reasons why some of those residents want to participate. And the one I'm going to talk about is Heron Point. Down at Heron Point, and we're going to put a map up here for you, but down at Heron Point, part of the development is already inside the city limits. So at Stonebridge Drive and Heron Point, Fox Trails, all of that is already part of the city limits. So when you come in, that's all part of the city limits. The back portion is not in the city limits yet, but we had several members of that community at Heron Point who said they'd like to be part of the city. They'd like to have the services that city residents receive. Primarily, they want fire and police protection. So just like Westminster.
Well, I live in Muncie, Indiana, and I would like fire and police protection from Boston, Massachusetts. But, I should be able to get it, right? Because, I want it. now the idea is there's two ideas, really. There's the idea that I could move to Boston and live in the city of Boston and then have Boston PD and Boston FD services. Or I could stay where I'm at in Muncie and just hope and pray and demand and whine and bitch and scream and carry on and hope that they will do it and decide that I'm going to somehow take over all the land between here and there and make them come serve me. Now, I understand that that is like wildly crazy because Heron Point's just right there in Muncie. The point is, when he says like, well, the people of Heron Point want these services, the answer is simply that they could clearly move into the city. I mean, he's built all these wonderful homes. If they want these services, you know why most of them moved out to Heron Point? So they wouldn't be in the city. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. Most of them moved out there so they wouldn't be part of the city craziness. And like Kate said, it's like they don't have, where they live is the Wild West, and they don't have that. Where they live, they do currently have police protection. It's called the Delaware County Sheriff's Department. If shit got real crazy, Muncie could also head that way if needed, if called, if they thought it was necessary. You also have state troopers. You've also got Gaston. You've also, I really got Yorktown that could go there. You know, listen, from everything that I've heard, Snubblefoot, it's not going to be acquiring any new police officers or firemen for the city. I don't think it's going to be. I don't believe that it's going to be doing any of that. Yeah, Space Cat reminds everybody that any of these people could buy homes at store estates. You know, that's a way that they could do this and leave the people in this neighborhood out of this who do not want this. You know, so I think that's really interesting. I mean, that's just, you know, counterpoint to what he's saying here. It's just really, really strange. And yeah, as far as fire protection, you know, the fire protection is coming from Eaton. You know, I think that maybe Hamilton Township could also help out if or when needed or requested, you know, and I understand that, but I think when you move out here, like, you can't move out to the county knowing that you're moving to the county and knowing that you don't live in the city and then live out there for a while and be like, well, now I'm older and now I want this. And it's like, that does, you know, it doesn't really work that way.
Sir, they want that extra protection that they receive from a full-time fire department. So we ran the numbers. We did the 6 public meetings, and that will be up for a final vote for the council this coming month here coming up in March. So some of the reasons that they were very interested in doing this was that they're currently served by a volunteer department that does good work. But it's difficult to corral the people who are volunteer, and we have people on staff all the time. So our run times, it will be shorter. They already receive a number of, some city services now, mostly through the Muncie Sanitary District. So their trash service is covered already through the Muncie Sanitary District. And they wanted that police and fire. So we're kind of moving this forward for those homeowners. For us, there's not a lot of expense other than doing the police and fire run.
Well, yeah, it's not even that big of a wait. I hear that his deputies routinely come to Delaware County, and honestly, a Heron Point is just a stone's throw from McGalliard and Tillotson.
We did do a report, and there is a report. It's the fiscal report. It was part of the November packet. So if you go to the city muncie.in.gov, and you go to City Council, you look at the packets. You can get the one from November, and also the fiscal plan was in the January packet as well. So that provided the information. But if I just read a little bit about what was involved, there's not a whole lot that is an expense for the city other than police and fire. So we looked at let's see, that particular area has 1.46 centerline miles. There's no lighting because it's all underground. There's no overhead power. So everything's underground, which is nice. The sidewalks were in good condition. I'm just reading from the city engineer's report that he presented. That's part of this package that you can get online. There are 4 locations that we noted that were out of ADA compliance, so we'll address those if the annexation goes through. We will not have to do snow clearing because their HOA handles that, so there will be no snow service there at this particular time. Now, in events that are over 6 inches of snow, we have indicated that we'll go out and handle that. There are no street trees of note that would need to be removed or enhanced in any way, shape, or form. And the estimated cost for street work is really pretty minimal. $7,300 per year is what it looks like it might cost to do the regular maintenance that's involved. We would recommend, it's about time to do some crack sealing. So if this were to get annexed, we would do that. And the anticipated cost of that is only $4,500. That should have, according to the city engineer, have those streets last until 2035. And at that point, we would be repaving that particular area, which using 2024 dollars would be about $125,000. I don't know what it'll cost in 2035, but that's 11 years down the road, or 10 years down the road is what, when we anticipate that we'll have to do full replacement paving in that particular area. So there's not a lot of street work that needs to be done because it's a newer community. The residents will be excited to be able to qualify to have library cards, and they'll have police and fire with that particular coverage. So they're very excited about that. And we're very excited to welcome them to the city of Muncie. One other thing that I just want to make clear, one of the reasons we are interested in doing this is there are no restaurants, there are no stores, there's no retail in that neighborhood. And therefore, that means they're getting out on city streets because all around them are city annexed, city property. And so in order for them to go to take advantage of any services, they're pretty much going on city streets. So this is a way that they can help participate. We will become one of the entities that will be able to use those assessed values as we analyze the revenues, and we'll also receive additional street funding from the state for the additional lane miles. So those are just some of the reasons why we're looking at doing an annexation of Heron Point, and that will be up in March. So I just wanted to share some of the reasons why. So that's it for this particular week. We're hoping for warmer weather soon, but what I will guarantee you is next month is March, and in the month of March, spring begins. So hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time.
Man. It's just like, if I smile enough, and I just believe in the power of being positive, and I love everybody, and that Dan is just not I just don't believe that Dan is a realistic person, man. And yeah, that's the thing. Are you successful in everything that you're currently doing within our city limits now? Is everything running smoothly in Muncie right now? If it is, grand. Okay, let's start looking to other pieces of property that we can pirate into the city. But if it's not, maybe we ought to be taking care of our actual current city as it stands before we start pirating over other pieces of land and property and road and houses and all of that, and that's a very good point. So it is what it is. I don't know. here's the thing. They keep talking about these library cards. Like that, like this is the biggest issue on these people's minds. For real? What is going on at the library that you can't already do from your... The other thing is, like, I don't have a library card, and I could go to the library and do basically, I don't know. That's so strange. I don't really understand. That's so weird. And that's the second time I've heard them bringing up that library card thing. Okay, so that was the update, and of course there wasn't anything in there. So now on to the Dustin portion of this. So during the Board of Works meeting, of course, they just talked about the overall amount of the claims, which again, the overall amount of the claims was $2.7 million. And, you know, we're to the point where that's not really a lot of money. I mean, it's just standard. It's like par for the course for the controller's office. It is what it is. It's not a big deal at this point. And so I have gotten to the point where I don't really hardly even listen to it anymore. I just go straight to the documents and I look through the documents and I see what's going where. So I'm going to take you down this little tour of the actual claims. And here are the claims that was turned in. This was turned in. They got them the day before, I think he said. They got them Tuesday before going in. And so they had, you know, half of a day to look through these. And I question if they really do. Like, I get the impression maybe Linda does, but I almost feel like Ted like looks at them the day of, that maybe the morning of, and he's just like, okay, whatever. The total pages are 26. So 26 pages of claims. And I just want to go down through these. Now, you all know of what the big things that we look for here are, right? So we look for anything that goes to the crisis center, the Muncie City Crisis Center. We look for anything that goes to them. We look for anything that would be going to the old Justice Center, the hotel condominium, not hotel, the condominium things that used to be the old Delaware County Jail. So we look for anything that goes to that. And by that, we look normally at addresses and things. We look for, obviously, anything that's going to GM Development. And we do have $700,000 that are going to GM Development in this claim. They already told us, so we will see that. And then, of course, we look at anything that's going to Hoosier Municipal Operations. We look at anything that's going to Dustin Clark. We look at anything that's going to Michelle Owen. And hell, we might as well keep Greenlight Resources on there because I've never heard that that's expired or whatever, you know. So just to be, you know, safe, we look for them as well. And this is in alphabetical order, so it's pretty easy once you kind of have an understanding of what you're looking for. So we start to go down there. And then, of course, we look for anything that sticks out in our mind as being like, what? Whoa, this is crazy, because you do get that every now and then. All right, so we're just going down through here. And so the vendor is the lighter gray thing here on top. It says vendor, American Pest Professionals. And then each invoice is marked off here with a vendor number. And, you know, they've got all of this here. So that's what that is. This is the vendor numbers up here at the top. Then down here in black are the invoice numbers. And here describes what it is a little bit. And then over here, it tells you invoice date, due, and it tells you all of this. So let's look there, and let's look here and see what there is. Okay. Mhm. Looking down. Boyce Animal Hospital. Harold Brown, Prairie Creek. That's interesting. What is that? $57. Don't know what that is, but that's okay. Here's Centerpoint Energy. This is the energy company. So we like to look and see, what all they're doing here. Let's see. They're paying obviously for the crisis center, $180 for the crisis center, not open yet. Keep in mind, we're paying for the energy payment for a building that's not open. I'm sure that one of these is more than likely for the old Y that's not really doing anything. Okay, going on down here. Comcast. GM Development. Okay. GM Development. Here's $717,537.48. Indian American Water. Indiana Michigan Power. We're on page 15. Getting down through here, all this looks fairly normal. Okay. Now here's Mitchell 1. I don't know what that is. 461. 464. Okay. Nathan Sloan, hotel reimbursement. Okay. Here's credit cards. Let's see who's getting credit card payment. Craig Wright, Ridenauer, Burford, HR Director, Josh Talby, Dustin Clark. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. So why does Dustin Clark, a contract employee, have a credit card? I cannot even wrap my mind around this. Why does Dustin Clark have a credit card? Invoice number 9041-1 2025. Dustin Clark paid check 271269. Invoice date. I mean, this is not an old. The invoice date was 1/22/2025. Due date 2/7/2025. Let's see how much the amount was. Okay. The amount was for $916.85. Now, why in the hell is a contract employee charging anything? Why does he have a credit card? So even I don't know what he could. I mean, think about this. This would be like the guy that's bringing the paper to the city for the printer paper to the city, giving him a credit card. Why would Dustin Clark have a credit card? Invoice number, let's write that down. 9041. Okay. Total was 16. All right. So keep that in your mind. All right. We're not done. Hey, look, there's Thomas Business Center. I didn't see a credit card for Thomas Business Center. Thomas Business Center would be like a contract employee, a contract vendor for the city of Muncie. I don't understand why don't they have a credit card? Else. Okay. That's the end of that. So that's where we are. Dustin Clark with the credit card. That's the only thing that popped up there. However, that's not the only thing that you have to look at. You then have to come back, and what you're looking at there is the weekly. You then want to click on the monthly expenses. Okay, so we click on this, and that takes us to a new section. And you have to download it. Second here. Let me get this. Now, for some reason, it's not letting me download that the way that it used to. See if this helps. Controller. Expense archives. Expense. Okay. So yeah, right. I just saw that, Catherine. Okay, let's take a look at what we're looking at here. Okay. So coming over here and taking a look at this. You can see the date here, check date. This is for this last month, and we're going to go down through here, and we're going to look if there's anything here of interest. Okay, and again, this is, I would assume, in alphabetical order. Oh, here's Dustin Clark. And this is 8/3/2005. Okay. We've got check date, check, paid to, void, amount. Let's take a look and see what all this is. Description, department, and that's it. Okay, so in digging around through all of this, I was able to find that after being paid, here's what's amazing. After being paid on the 27th of December, Dustin Clark, and that was $7,000. Dustin Clark then turned around on the 3rd of January and was paid let's see how much he was paid on the 3rd. $3,709. And oh, look, he was paid for reasons, other services, and charges. Look at that. Yeah, right. Yeah, 2025. I'm going to do that all year. 2005. I don't like saying that other two. So here we do. At the beginning of the month, just 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3. Just 7 days later, a week later, he's, for some unknown reason, paid an additional $3,709.50. So let's follow on down here and see if there's anything else. Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Let's search. We should be able to search, should we not? Okay, he wasn't. That's good. There's GM development. Wow, there's on January 10th, we get another $247,404 to GM development. That's always nice. Okay, let's get back around here to the D's again. See if we paid Dustin again this time. Nope, doesn't look like he's paid for in the middle of the month. Let's look here at the end of the month. And it doesn't look like he was paid there then at the end of the month. However, I am aware that here in just the last little period, he has turned in another several invoices. So as of today, I requested a record request on Dustin Clark. And I said, look, I know that I requested his invoices just, not too long ago. I'm aware, but I did. I do have to send in another request for what I requested was, I requested up to November, but I thought because they had taken so long that they would have given me through December as well. However, they did not. I received everything up through November. So with today's request, I requested December, January, and everything through the 6th of February. Now, I am hoping, this is the hope beyond all hope, I am hoping that they are starting to get mad at him, which I have a strong suspicion that maybe Craig Wright's office is not liking what's going on, and that others there are starting to get pissed off by how much money he's making doing God knows what. And I have requested this, and I've said, please, this is something that you guys should have in pretty close proximity. You shouldn't have to go hunting for this. Please get this to me quickly. So I'm hoping to have this within, the next week or so. And I'm hoping we'll be able to look through it. So, okay, he didn't get anything on the 31st. So that's good. Double check. That's it. Should be it. Yeah, that takes us to the end of that. So it's interesting that he received another $3,000 there at the beginning of the month. And then I know that he's turned in invoices here, let's just say within the last week or two. And again, I want to remind everybody that the person signing off on these invoices is none other than Dan Ridenauer. Dan Ridenauer is the person who's signing off on these invoices. And so my question has to be again to Dan, like, what is going on that this dude is a contract employee who has a contract that's just absolutely out of this world? Nobody else ever in government would say, yeah, this is a good contract to sign into with this guy. And then on top of that, this contract employee has a credit card with the city of Muncie. He's turning in invoice after invoice with ridiculous amounts, with barely any description of what he's doing, with no proof that he's actually working these jobs or hours or whatever's going on. He spends all of his time jacking around at City Hall. Nobody up there really knows what he's doing. And the big question is, what is he getting what is he getting for the city? How much is he making Dan? That's what Alva's saying, and that's a good question. That's a good question. How much is Dan getting for this? And Karen says, are invoices itemized? Well, when you say are they itemized, I mean, it's like this. So there's one figure over here, quantity 1, unit price $2,500, and then in the description it says this. Providing general administration, management, grant writing, and other consulting services to the city and all departments of the city as needed and directed by the mayor of Muncie. Now, I know when I talk to my sources within the Muncie City Hall with the various departments, everyone says, he doesn't do shit where I work. He doesn't do anything for us. Everybody says he's doing something in Dan's office, but we don't know. And then down here it says review grant work, LOI for land acquisition, contractor meeting, IDM compliance, admin work, E-Central recycling, earthwork, skid steer work, site planning, site layout, design, admin work, post review work, and follow up. Hecan site flagging, site design, skid steer work, planting, follow up, admin work, Thomas Park's site visits, laid out, initial layout, budget timeline, community outreach, meeting business leaders, neighborhood association meetings. Now, my question is, neighborhood association meeting. Is he getting paid by the city of Muncie to be meeting as the president of the Granville Neighborhood Association, something that he should be doing off the clock, and something that then turns around and gets money from the city on? So the other question, and I'm going to do it right now so I don't forget about it. So there is no, so I do not forget about this. Let's do this right here like this. This here is the Muncie record request. Okay. In person or via email. Hey, records requested. Dustin Clark. I'm requesting an accounting of all grants that Dustin Clark City of Muncie. Dustin. I am requesting an accounting of how many grants the city has been awarded that Dustin Clark has. From his first day through what? Total grant. All right, so I have sent this. Give me 1 second here. Submit. No. All right, there we go. 2025 RX88RA. And I have applied for that now. And that, I'm assuming they will say will take a while. I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see what they say. I believe they're going to tell me that they don't know. And now, listen, I don't know a lot about grants. I don't have a big understanding of grants and how that works, but I do know that you have to keep like record of all of that, correct? I mean, you have to have a real good understanding of like how much you've taken in and the work that went into getting it. Here's my question, Kate, down there in the duck. Do you believe that that it's an appropriate question to say, how many grants has he applied for? Do you believe that they should have an accounting of that? Okay. So I would think so. But I could see them coming back and saying, well, we don't know. We don't keep that. We don't we don't know that. And I think when they say that, I think that that's going to be a bullshit answer. And I don't fully believe that that's right. They definitely should know how much money he has brought in. And listen, I'm not going to be dumb and say, oh, nothing's happened. I don't know how many grants he's responsible for, but I know for a fact that the city has received grants. I know they've received grants as far as community development goes. I know they've received grants for the police and fire department. I know they've received grants for, maybe the parks department. And that's the thing. I think probably the only grants that he's actually been a part of are probably the grants for the parks department. I certainly don't believe that he will have been a part of the grants for the police or the fire. And I certainly don't believe that he will have been responsible for the grants for community development. Kate says they should have a copy of every application they've applied for, whether they've got it or not. Right. Yeah, I know Susan knows about grants, but I don't. I'm pretty sure from our talking that she doesn't know how many grants that Muncie has applied for. Because we've talked about that before. I think this is something that Dustin. I think they're going to say that Dustin knows all this information and that he's the one that knows. And I'm going to say that they're going to say they don't know. Here in Louisiana, you would not get that request filled. They would claim it falls under economic development. They don't have to supply them to us. Yeah, that doesn't work here. They don't get to hide underneath economic development. Now there are some things that they get to hide under, like I wouldn't get a request things that are currently going on under current development. But as far as definitely how many grants he has been awarded, the city's been awarded, I think they've got to tell that. I think they have. I don't think they have a choice. You might be right about that. Might be their answer. That might be their answer with how many grants he's applied for. They might not want to talk about how many he hasn't received. But I mean, listen, if the total numbers of grants that he's brought in is under 2 million, then he's not worth what he's getting paid. Yeah. What his batting average is. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. And yeah, and I hear you, Alva. I know it's not right, but it is what it is. That's crazy. That's really crazy that they are able to. I mean, because some of that information would be pertinent, would be pertinent information. And again, the question is, what is going on? Oh, community crossings. That I guarantee you, he has nothing to do with community crossings. Guarantee you, he has nothing to do with community crossings. Community crossings would be strictly Adam. And we don't want to take that away from Adam. I had somebody else contact me that was really wanting some information about Adam, that were really wanting to know the ins and outs of what was going on, why he's still at the city, what is happening, why he's going over basically what they're doing currently with the punishment is he is laying down the law, but then he has a supervisor actually write it all out, but everything is coming from Adam. So they're trying to cover their tracks, but they all know that the heavy is coming from Adam. And that's just not right. I don't know. It's not good. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with that. We'll be looking. I'm hoping that they're not going to keep this going for weeks and weeks and weeks. All of these grants that I've asked, now that too. The grants I'm okay with taking a while because I'm sure it's going to take a while, and I want them to have as much time as they need to get me what I want. But the stuff about the invoices, that should be able to come to me pretty quickly, because that stuff that should still be really floating around in the controller's room, the controller's office. They should be able to pop that out and hand that over ASAP. So hopefully we will have that soon. and we'll be able to go from there. Now, I do want to remind everybody, and I said this last night, and everybody's like, wait, what do you mean? We still got to get through Thursday. Tomorrow, we will be here live, and Catherine will be on with us. But besides Catherine and I, we will have two very special guests on with us. We are going to have on for the first hour of the show from 9 to 10. We're going to have on Miss Lisa Rinker, who is running for the Madison County Republican Party chairwoman. And then we're going to have on Dr. Ocker. And I forget his first name. Give me a second, and I will tell you what his name is. Maybe I can't. Maybe I won't. At least they're not cops. Yeah, John Ocker. John H. Ocker. So tomorrow we're going to have on Lisa Rinker. She is the woman that is running for Republican Party chair over there. And I did see that, Alva. I did see that. I posted that up, and I sent that to the only access I have to James King's page, and I sent it to John Brook. Yeah, thank you, Ian. I appreciate it. I finally was able to get it cut and not look so freaking ridiculous. So let me find. Okay, yeah, here it is. All right, here it is. I can show you this. So I'm very happy because they're going to. I think this will be the first place they're actually announcing officially on the show. They've talked about this, obviously. They've talked about and they've announced it. They put it out, but I think we'll be the first show they're actually going on, and this is a big deal. Lisa Rinker and John Ackerman, the team we need, party unity, communication, growth. March 1st at 9:30 a.m. Madison County Party leadership, and listen. So they're going to be up against. They're going to be up against Kelly Hewer and Rick Gardner. And now some are saying that Mikhail Vaughn is putting his name in the ring. And so, you know. What's sad to me is we're talking about all of this and we're marching closer, obviously, to March 1st. And I'm not hearing anything about Delaware County. I know that there's been some quick pulling behind the strings. I know that Stephen Brand is working on something. I don't know what the plan is. And I don't know if they're trying to keep it all. Here's the problem. That and I'm just going to be right up front and honest. For everybody that is like, well, why aren't you talking about what's going on in Delaware County? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you why. Because the sources that I have that are all bottled up with what's going on with the old party leadership that don't like the old party leadership, they're all stuck on the outside of the wave of new change that's coming in. And so all they're saying is like, well, Ed's going to run and he thinks he can win and blah, blah, blah. And then there's this wave of change that's coming in. And I tend to be on the side of the wave that's change. But they don't like leaking information, and they don't leak information, and they keep everything very close to the vest. And so nothing really gets out. And I'll be honest, I don't really like that form. I don't like the idea of keeping the public out of everything until it happens. Let's plan everything in the secret and then just have it boom bang pow happen. I don't like that idea, because that's the way that you get people to grow into this thought that, well, we're all powerful. We can do things without the public knowing, and, yada, yada, yada. And that's not, I don't like that. That's not my style. And so I'm going to be watching it. Now, I'll tell you, if at the end of the day, if that works and they're good and they're accepting of all people and things are good, then okay, I guess have at it. And, we'll just learn as things happen and people can be a part of it, whatever. But if they start to get sideways, I'll start chipping away at them too. I don't really care to chip away. They have to be realizing that while they may be in power, they are still public servants that work for us. So, we don't know what's going on. So it's been real weird here in Delaware County. Really, what's been going on in the city of Muncie and Delaware County as a whole has been really funky for quite some time. And so that's that. Vaughn is a total dumbass. He was charged. Yeah, I can't stand Vaughn. He doesn't have a chance. He's a jokester. He's ridiculous, and he has no chance. I'll be honest. Well, I'm not going to say that. No, Mikhail Vaughn is a complete idiot. He's a joke. John Ackerman or Lisa Rinker rolls right over the top of him. He's a joke. He's somebody that wants so badly to have a seat at the big people table, and he wants to be a part of it all, but he doesn't understand how it works. So he's ridiculous. Maybe if we pay them to snitch on their bosses, like the cops do, we can get a mole or two. I'll eventually get mole inside. I eventually get people who leak, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the kind of the person who says something and tells how it's going. So they will evolve. It just takes some time. So that's what's going on. Mikhail Vaughn could pull some votes from Kelly. I really don't see that happening, because nobody likes Mikhail. Our side of things don't like him, and their side of things don't like him. So I would be honest, Mikhail's one of those people that I don't think that he's a precinct committeeman anymore. So it's not like he can vote for himself. So like I could literally see him getting a vote. Or whatever. But yeah, he's not very well liked. He's ridiculous. That's exactly right, GW. That's exactly right. I mean, there's Delaware County is very good at keeping shit secret, of keeping things low profile, and I mean good and bad. Good and bad. Yeah, you've got to go to meetings. Him and Gardner have been buddies for years, but then they had that really weird falling out. So, I don't know. I don't know if they got back together or if they're still at odds, but they had a real weird falling out like last year, and it was really, really strange. So we'll keep it here. We'll have it here, and you guys stay tuned here, obviously. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Click the bell for notifications when we go live or drop shorts or whatever there. You will want to understand what's going on, and you can find out by subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell. Hit the thumbs up on this video on your way out. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday evening. Have a great Friday. The end of the work week is here. Yay, yay. The end of the work week is here. We should be off and be celebrating a great 2 days, but we won't. We will be here tomorrow. Tune in right here to another special Friday night show. It'll be show episode 387. Myself, Catherine Callahan, and Lisa Rinker, and Dr. Ackerman for the first hour. And then after they're gone, Catherine and I will put it down for the next hour after that. So tune in. It'll be a good show. A lot of great information. And we'll have some new voices on, new guests. And that's always a good time. God bless each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Offer up the prayers and your thoughts and good vibes to the Barber family. And we'll pray for them and pray for the little baby and the doctors working on the baby. So other than that, folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.